to another edition of Ask Earl Anything. And this week's edition is probably going to be a little bit shorter than normal. This week I have one question. My one question is from GAC Drums. And he asked me a question about if I leave the studio monitors on when I'm recording my drum covers, or do I listen through my headphones and turn the studio monitors off and have a quiet room. That's pretty much what I thought the gist of the question was. I'm paraphrasing the question this week. So to answer GAC's question, let me just say this. Because I have a recording studio and I have a headphone monitoring system, I can monitor all my drum videos through the headphones and have a quiet room. But the other side of that coin is, when I'm recording with the camera, there is something about having a little bit of room noise that helps me to line up my video to my final audio in the end. So what I tend to do is not really care if the monitors stay on or not. I kind of discovered this one day when I was recording something, and I left the monitors on and it didn't affect my final mix for a drum video. So drum videos are a little different than when I'm doing a normal recording session where I have a band in here, or I have a vocalist or a guitar player, where you don't want to have that room noise going on because it bleeds in and it makes it a lot harder to do the mix. The way my studio is set up, the studio monitors are behind the camera. Okay, so I actually face my whole studio setup, where I have the TV monitors and I have the actual audio monitors, the studio monitors. And because of that, when I'm recording a drum cover from the camera, very rarely does the bleed of that get into the microphones of the drum kit, causing me a lot of problems when I mix down my audio in my DAW for my audio to sync with my video. Let me say this again. Let me say it this way. All of the audio is not coming from a camera mic. Is coming from the microphones going into my digital audio workstation, which is Logic. So I use Logic 10 Pro 10 as my audio source, and I do all my mixing in the audio source. Okay, so I monitor through headphones. Now, one of the things that makes that work for me is I have a zero latency monitoring system because I'm using a mixing board for monitoring. Okay, and the PreSonus Studio Live 24x4x2 allows me to have zero latency. So what I'm listening to on the track is coming back to my headphone mix, and then I'm recording, and I'm not dealing with any delay. That's the problem a lot of times when you're using a typical audio interface. You'll have some kind of delay from the audio program to your headphone mix. I'm not getting the delay because I have a mixing board set up in a way where it's zero latency monitoring, so it works really well for me. So I hope that it kind of explained it for you, GAC Drums. That was my goal here, was to explain it to you. So, with that said, Ask Earl Anything works this way. If you guys send in questions, we have a show. So I had one question this week, so the show is going to be a little bit shorter than the last couple weeks, which is good. I mean, 30-minute shows are a little long, I think, to be honest. So let me also use this week's show as an opportunity to do some shout-outs and talk about one other subject. Thank you to my subscribers, to all my subscribers. I have hit 800 subscribers. Thank you so much this week. I have another 200 to get to that magic 1,000 number, where I'll be giving away a cymbal. I still plan on giving that cymbal away when I hit 1,000. Okay? So if you watch the end of the video and you click on the link to that video and you want to be part of that, please put your name in. But the next part I want to say, besides the needing 200 more subscribers, is I want to talk a little bit about how I'm working my subscribers up. And I'm doing it basically by two things. Number one, lots of content on YouTube. I said this last week in my how to make a drum cover video. I believe that part of my advantage the last 3 or 4 months has been consistently putting out content every couple days. So usually what I have is a couple, 3 or 4 or 5 videos banked. So I have content to put out, waiting to be put out. So I'm not rushing to make videos every day and then putting content out. I actually have a bunch of videos banked in there waiting to go out. That's my first rule. My second rule is, and the second thing I'm doing is Instagram. And I have an Instagram page. It's under Earl Drum or Earl Bennett. And if you are on Instagram, please friend me and follow me. And if I will follow you back. Okay, I usually do that. My Instagram account is public. And basically what I do is I take little clips, the best little pieces of some of my videos, and I put those little clips on my Instagram page. And that allows me, I think, to start getting some other people exposed to my YouTube page. Because on my Instagram page, I also have a link to my YouTube page. So I think I'm getting some subs from that too. And if you're one of those guys, leave me a comment so I know that that's the case. But that's my assumption, because I keep seeing new subscribers every few days, and I'm wondering where they're coming from. And they could be just YouTube, but that's it. Now, with that said, there are other ways to get more exposure. One is joining drumming communities. Let me say this about drumming communities. We have some great drumming communities. I'm a part of All Classic Drum Covers, Tony's community. I'm a part of Drummer's Den, Mike's community, Mike Perry's community. I'm a part of Drum On, which is Ron's community on Facebook. Now, I understand Facebook pretty well. I've been on Facebook a long time. So every time I want to add a video to Drum On, it's just copy the link and drop it in Drum On and say something, and you're on basically there. Something goes on in these other drumming communities, all classic drum covers and Drummer's Den. It seems like there's all kinds of categories you got to put your video in, and I never seem to get that right for some reason. Maybe somebody can teach me about Google+. I don't know what it is. I can't seem to figure it out. I wish I could figure it out, but Google+ is an anomaly to me, and I just don't have the time to spend on Google+. Matter of fact, the first time I signed up for Google+ was by accident. I basically got asked by a friend to come in. I went in, signed up, and then I realized I don't like this format at all, and I deleted it, and it wouldn't delete my account. And then eventually Google+ forced me to use a Gmail account to get on YouTube. I had an AOL account for the longest time. And then one day all of a sudden YouTube and Google+ were tied together. And that's Google basically saying, you're going to use all of our product. You don't have a choice. So Google+ and we're not like real good friends. So I have real issues with playing in Google+ for some reason. Some of you guys love it. I can't figure it out. So if you want to drop a link in there for me how to figure out how to use Google+, maybe I will one day. But those two communities, every time I drop a video in there, I seem to put it in the wrong place for some reason. So I have a tendency not to put many videos in those forums. And the other reason probably is because I feel like I'm overexposed anyhow. I'm putting out videos all the time. But those of you that are in the community, if you want to help me find my way, that's great. If you think it's funny that I don't know how to use it, trust me, I'm almost 60 years old. I'm 57, going to be 58 this year. And the fact that I can use technology the way I do, I think is a pretty huge badge for me, okay? The fact that I can do it. But Google+ and I don't get along for some reason. I figured out YouTube, but Google+ and I don't get along. So it's hard for me to kind of work that community. I'm good on Instagram. I kind of got the Facebook thing down, you know. Haven't gotten Snapchat or any of that other crazy social media stuff, but that's my world. Anyhow, Ask Earl Anything, episode 11. If you want to see an episode 12, please leave a comment and a question. Okay? If you leave a question, we have a show next week. All right? That's how the show works. If you guys leave questions, I have another show. All right? So until next week, hopefully I'll get lots of questions this week. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And remember to ask Earl anything. Thanks a lot.